beautiful people. I'm alive again. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a process, works in progress, and I'm going to put it in my works in progress list. So check it out there. But so let's talk about creating a short film. So just a little bit of history on my previous short films. The first short film I shot was I believe I want to say Angel. Yes. Angel was the very first short I shot. And I got help from somebody that like was a videographer. So that was like easy because I didn't have to deal with like camera stuff or anything like that. And I was really just focused both on my acting and then kind of directing it, which was like ideal and I loved it. But as somebody who likes, right now I don't have funding. Right now it's like trying to figure out how to get funding and all of that. Um, so because of that, my second and also because of COVID, my second short I shot like I was a cinematographer and the like lighting girl and all of that. I did everything, especially because it was shot during COVID. So like nobody, like we were in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of like, lockdown. And so I literally shot it on my iPhone because that's what I had at the time available to me. So I shot that short film and it's a little rough. Like now looking back at it, I'm like, oh, that's not a good angle, girl. So, but this is before I like went into like studying about cinematography. And again, I am not, the world's greatest cinematographer. I'm gonna be the first one to tell you. I think I'm a pretty decent ish editor. So I edited the second film and it's the Hamlet one, but like the cinematography, like I look at it, I'm like, oh, that was awful. But we have to learn, right? Like that's the learning curve. Um, and it was a lot of fun. I think it taught me a lot. I think I just kind of went into like education mode and like started learning, especially because that was like I think that was the year that I officially opened Angel Falls Theater Productions. Like I had been a producing artist under that name, Angel Falls Productions, for quite some time. But then we officially like filed all the paperwork in 2020 because I got together with like my producer mentor and she was like, I think it's time for you to like open a business. And I was like, she said to create a theater company, but I was like, I don't want to create a theater company. I think that's like really, it wasn't like really where I wanted to go. I still wanted to work with other theater companies. I still wanted to work with, as an actor in other people's stuff. And I felt like having a theater company and being an artistic director was quite kind of sacrificial. That you had to sacrifice a lot and including your acting career. And I wasn't ready for that, nor was it, I felt for me personally, was, kind of the path that I wanted to travel. But having a production company, the good thing is like you bring people together for a production and then everybody disperses and goes on with their lives and you can, do your acting thing or you can like continue to produce or direct or whatever. And I was like, that's like the perfect thing because then you can get to like work on other productions as like a multidisciplinary artist, but also then you can come together and like produce the thing. So that's what I did. Um, and that was the journey. And so those were like the first two shorts I did. And then I really went into, like, studying, like, everything that had to do with cinematography. Um, I will say in hindsight, I wish I had done more short films, like, during that period, like, having put that into practice instead of just, like, absorbing, like, all the information, right, and not putting it into practice because ultimately it is about the practice of the thing, and I really love cinematography. I really love, like, um, the shot, right? Like, I love, like, when I look at things, I'm like, "Oh my god, that's such a beautiful shot." But I don't feel like I am a cinematographer, if that makes sense, you know? I like putting the film together, but I don't necessarily like, I'm like, "Oh," feel like that's kind of but I can do it, and I have learned about it because it's necessary, right? Even if you're like a director, and I direct things. So, like, as a director, you have to know, like, the lingo, you have to understand the lenses, you have to understand certain things, and I still don't have, like, a full knowledge of, like, lenses and, like, all of that. Um, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But part of that was that, like, I left my professional camera somewhere else, and it's been a nightmare getting it back. So I had to buy, like, a cheap DSLR, which is, like, what, this short film is gonna be shot on. This is an SL1. It cost me, like, literally 250 bucks. I was hoping I could get, like, a more like, the one where you could, like, pop this out because also as an actor, when you're, like, doing all the stuff, like, you need to have, like, ways to, like, actually do that multiple thing, right? Like, you need to be able to see yourself and be like, "Okay, this is like, I'm in frame," or, like, "I need to move over here a little bit or over here." So you need the thing to pop out, the LCD screen. Um, but, you do what you can, you know? Um, yeah, so it's been a challenge, but I think, like, challenges are the mother of invention. So anyway, so that's a little bit about um the previous shorts. Basically all I did was I adapted both these scripts, right? Into a screenplay format. The first one was Angel, the second one was Hamlet. I had already had a concept for the short film, which was for this first one, it was that moment when the angel comes and she, tells the person, right, like the person that she guides, that she loves her, and that, she has to go and fight, right? Because there's a war in the heavens. And so that one was a lot easier because one, I already had it memorized. And two, I already knew what it looked like. It was, like, all shot in, like, a room in my apartment, in my bedroom, and I had people, right? Like, it was like resources were there. I had a camera. Everything was organized, right? So we had the shot. We had somebody that took care of the shots of, like, filming it and all of that. And then that was it, you know? And then for the second one, because everything was done by me, I did it over a weekend. So I shot and this one had different scenes. So the previous, um, short, had, like, just one it was, like, one scene in one place, that's it. It's one setting, it was really easy. It was just one setting, but, like, from 2 different POVs. So first is like the angel POV, and then the POV of like, like you get like the B-roll of like the person who's like, the person is supposed to be sleeping in the scene. Um, but she's hearing, right? Everything. And she's like interacting with that. So it's really about, the focus was on the angel, ergo the title, Angel. So the shots were really easy. I didn't do a shot list um because I had never done that before. Remember, I come from like theater, so like this is like the first thing, like I'm like, what's a shot list? I don't understand. And then the second time, the second short film, I did do a shot list. Like I wrote the script, I had a concept for it. Um well, I adapted the script. The script was from Shakespeare. I adapted the script into a screenplay format. I then, once I had the script, I did a shot list of everything I needed, of all the shots, right? And I did not do a what's it called? A board. I don't know why then. I haven't been sleeping, guys. I haven't been sleeping. Um, uh, hold on. So like the words like the visual board, whatever that's called, for the film, right? I can't remember the name because I haven't slept. Anyway, so I didn't do that, which is like the shot of like, of what it looks like, and then like, what the line is going to be. I didn't do one of those. For this one, I did. So as you see, like we keep getting better. I think the only kind of challenges that I feel like I have with this short film is, one, I'm in the middle of a move, so it's like personal stuff. And also, I don't have lighting. My apartment seems to like, all the lights seem to go out in this freaking apartment. It's like a very old apartment building, like all New York City apartment buildings. So that's something to contend with. And I don't quite have like a lighting kit, which is part of the issue, but we will see. We shall we shall figure it out. You know, I do have really good outside lighting, but it has to be earlier in the day. Like right now, I have outside lighting and it's like 5:20 p.m. So this is the lighting I'm gonna get. I actually, in terms of lighting, I really actually prefer like natural lighting, but sometimes you do need lighting. Like lighting is what makes everything seamless and have that like professional look. Lighting is crucial and it adds such a depth and dimension to filmmaking. But sometimes you don't have the resources and you just do what you have. You do what you do, what you need to do, you know? So far I have, give me 1 second. I just want to pull up my Mila note, which is where I have written everything out. So the first process of this short film was to, I actually didn't do like proper a proper script. I didn't like, put it where it needs to be. Um, so that's gonna be interesting. But I did do like the shot list in terms of like visually, right? So I know what the what it's gonna be, right? Like what each shot is and what I'm supposed to say, like how the monologue, because it's like this one long monologue. And as you can see, like because I both act and direct and do everything, not ideal. Don't try this at home, folks. Because I do that, then I have to like be aware of exactly what I'm saying, when I'm saying it, and how, what the emotional arc of that scene is, which we'll get into once we start like breaking down the script from an actor's perspective. Now, I give me 1 second. I want to say something. Give me 1 second. I just need to see storyboard. That was the word. Storyboard. I promise. I knew what the word was, but like, yeah, I haven't slept, guys. I haven't slept. So words. Words. Yeah, so I did the shot list with like I did the storyboard slash shot list. Like I know what I'm shooting, what I'm saying. So I didn't feel like I needed to kind of do like a full like adaptation of this speech because I already knew what I was saying. So, and it was all me, like I don't have to show this to anybody else to be like, oh, this is what's going to happen here, that's what's going to happen there. Like I know in my mind what needs to go. So the challenges here are going to be like cinematography wise, and also finding the time to do this. Because it's going to be in my apartment, but some of the B-roll is like outside shots. I have to I have to go to Central Park. I can do like I can like put this up on I'll show you the storyboard of the short film. Hopefully I'm able to do it. There's like a lot of like there's even like shots of like me going to the supermarket, all of that. I don't know how I'm gonna film that. And there was supposed to be one with friends. Um, and I don't know a lot of people. And I cannot actively pay any actors right now. So that is going to be um part of the challenge, but we will figure it out. We will redo that little short scene. So that's like kind of like where we're at, right? And now we're going to go into like the monologue. And this is part of the process, right? I have not What is going on? I don't know. My computer is having a nervous breakdown. Um okay. So I'm actually going to. Should I put this separately? Okay. You know what? I'm just going to add it onto here. So that's the process. I know it's not very organized, but I'm trying to do something new with like these YouTube videos. It's just in process. It's a lot easier to just like sit down here and like do this with you guys because I'm both like in the middle of like working and I'm not trying to make it aesthetic or anything like that. I'm just trying to like put it up and create content, and I think that that's what's important versus like trying to make it, perfect. All right, so let's get into it. So this is just like a reading, right? Like I haven't done like the actor stuff. I don't know what my objectives are. I haven't like done all the script analysis of this monologue. But let's get into it. So it's a lasting day. By who in the world knows? The last day we met, you said everything would be fine. Because you knew how much I worry, and you were right. I do worry because I've spent my whole life trying to measure up to expectations, theirs and mine. And when no one in your fam is in this line of work, they have no idea. Well, they have some idea, but that idea comes from outside. And so what they see is that your peer is on the great wide way, or your other peer is making a movie, or your other peer is in the cool magazine or show. And well, you get the picture. So you spend a lot of hours hearing words of do better, you're not doing enough. Why aren't you doing enough? If only you were working harder. And you think, well, maybe I'm not. Maybe all the work has not been enough to get whatever shiny thing I am supposed to have. And so you spend more hours working, frying your insides, wasting your eyes, going here, there, and everywhere to just make ends meet. When you don't own anything, not a house, not a room, not even a chest of drawers. And I remember that. And you remember that you read once how Anne Boyer also dreamt of one day owning a chest of drawers. Anne effing Boyer, for God's sake. And you think, yep, maybe one day I'll be like she is now and finally be able to own a little something like a house or a room or a nice chest of drawers or maybe a proper lamp so that I would have not have to worry so much and my fam would not have to worry so much because you see them worry and it hurts. And you want to say to them, like you said to me the last day we met, that everything would be fine. But you don't know that, not really. Because who gets to say? Who knows anything? Maybe all you got is work and more work and having to make things out of thin air every single time. And that's just the way it is forever. Even if you dream of a room of your own. Yeah, just like Virginia Woolf said. Because she knew that having FU money and a room actually helps you not worry so much and make more things without the hang of it all bearing down upon you. Every minute spent looking at the clock and diary. She knew better than most because she lived it. And even then, she couldn't keep up. She couldn't move past the dark days, even when her pal said everything would be fine. So you think if she couldn't, what chance has anyone? And then you get all fatalistic and it's doom. But then you keep thinking about your fam and how much they love you and how you give thanks every day, every blessed day that they actually care. They actually give everything to see you realize your dreams. And you know how precious that is? And how not everyone has that? And yes, you do want to make them proud. Just like you did when you were 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 and 30 and always when you were still with your backpack chasing this dream and that, chasing words, chasing the work, chasing whatever the heck is this thing we call being in this crazy mad field. And yes, I'm sure there are other even crazier mad fields out there, but for now, just for now, you stick to what you know, or at least you think you know. Even if the society of the spectacle is starting to has turned a lot of what you know into hell knows what. So what else can you do? What else do you got when you don't know how long a day will last? And then you think of peers and teachers and sort of friends and friends that are no longer here, folks that worked to the bone till every ache ached. And how maybe you remember, or maybe some other folks, when once they were the rage or are gonna be the rage, and you think about the rage, the word itself, you think about its root, how it moves through centuries, and also too through words, the same ones you have been chasing your whole life, and the same ones Anne Boyer and Virginia Woolf and countless other amazing heroines. You use that word still because you like that word. Sometimes we should all be heroines and forget all that hero stuff. And you think, how can I be chasing words when they are right here? And then you look at the clock and it's near midnight, and you realize that darkness of dark that comes over you at the rise of a day needs pass. Because this is all we got, what is right here. So you give thanks. That's it, folks. Okay, so like I felt like myself settle into it a little further on. Obviously, I still need to like do a little bit of script analysis and work on this piece. So we'll take it little by little. Okay. We'll take it little by little, and we'll that's the next spot part of the process. I have to memorize this. So we'll see. I might come on here and like do the script analysis with you guys, but I just wanted to kind of connect to the words. I really liked the speech. I think from my understanding, like the main character is a writer. So I'm going to put that in the notes. Main character, writer. So I just put that into my notes. So I already know how it's going to be shot. I know I did the storyboard, I did the thing. I didn't do the script because I didn't feel like I needed to, and so now it's about like the actor part of it. So that's what we'll delve in next time. If this was a little long or a little boring, I apologize. I don't know what this series of videos are going to look like. Um, and I understand that this is just like me talking to like my computer. Um, and not really editing these things. So I thank you for staying if you stayed, and if not, it's all good. I think it'll be a good kind of process diary for me of sorts, kind of like, okay, so, kind of like maybe looking back and kind of seeing growth and all of that.